So here's a wild thought. What if you could talk to the dead? Our journey today starts with that very idea, an idea that came from a chat with an AI. We are about to go way down a rabbit hole, one found in our source material that pulls together digital ghosts, celebrity rituals, and a surveillance network that's, frankly, massive. Let's peel back that first layer, shall we? Right, so here's where it all kicks off. The source claims that Meta actually has a patent for an AI that would let people post from beyond the grave. Just think about that for a second. A technology that learns everything you've ever said, written, or shared, and then uses it to spin up a digital you, a ghost in the machine that just keeps on interacting with everyone long after you're gone. And that one weird idea is the key. It's the doorway. Because if something as fundamental as a person's identity can be copied and pasted online, it kind of begs a much, much bigger question, right? What else about our reality is being shaped? Or maybe even totally fabricated without us even realizing it? That question is really what underpins everything we're about to get into. Okay, let's start by looking at those little cracks in what we think of as reality. We're going to see how one single viral video can tell two completely different stories. It all just depends on what you're told to focus on. And here's that split perception in action. On one side, you've got the official story. Michael Jordan having a totally innocent, fun moment with a kid after a NASCAR race. Seems simple enough. But our source material says, hang on, look closer. It points to what it calls the key details. The mother supposedly gesturing to warn her child, and Jordan scratching his head, which it interprets not as just a random gesture, but as the classic sign of someone who's just been caught. So, if a simple video can have a hidden story, the source argues that much bigger, much darker secrets are hiding in plain sight. And this brings us to what is, without a doubt, its most explosive section, the allegations around Jeffrey Epstein and his network. Just to be clear, we are going to present these claims from the source completely neutrally. The source material lays out this just staggering list of public figures who are allegedly connected to Epstein. I mean, the names you see here, they cross every possible field. Sports, music, tech, global politics, you name it. And according to the source, this isn't just a random list of famous people. It's a very intentionally built network. And believe me, this list is just a tiny fraction of the full scope of the allegations, which we're going to dig into now. You know, to give you a sense of the kind of accusations we're talking about, the source includes some really specific, really jarring stuff. For instance, it alleges that this quote is from an email sent by Deepak Chopra to Epstein. A line like that is presented as direct proof of a shared and pretty disturbing worldview among the people in the circle. The theories in the source material go even further. They start to question things that we think of as basic facts. This slide is a perfect example. It's the claim that Ghislaine Maxwell might not even be in prison. The argument is based on perceived differences between old photos and new ones, which opens up the possibility that a body double was used. Then there's the story of high-level political drama. The claim here is that when Congress got access to the unredacted Epstein files, the Department of Justice laid a trap. It supposedly tracked their search histories to see which members of Congress were frantically typing in their own names, essentially revealing who was worried about being implicated. Okay, so if powerful people are hiding all these secrets, how would they even communicate with each other? Well, this leads us to the next layer of the whole theory, the idea that our entire culture, movies, music, ads, is just filled with coded messages. And the source material offers a kind of method for decoding them. All right, check this out. A Super Bowl ad of all things. On the surface, it's just a funny, kind of weird Pringles commercial. But if you look at it through the lens of this source material, it becomes something else entirely. The man made of chips who gets eaten is seen as an allegory for cannibalism, and his reaction at the end supposedly sends a clear message: don't knock it till you try it. And this method of decoding things gets applied all over celebrity culture. According to the source, none of this is random. Angelina Jolie wearing vials of blood, a Selena Gomez post with a cake that looks like body parts, ASAP Rocky using occult symbols, they're all interpreted as pieces of a larger puzzle, a puzzle that paints a picture of a widespread ritualistic cult running through Hollywood. And this brings us to the deepest, most technical part of the entire theory, the control system that's supposedly behind everything. The source calls it the Maxwell algorithm, and it alleges a straight line from old-school mass surveillance to a really frightening future of biological control. So the source lays out this three-step evolution. First, you have the prototype. Christine Maxwell supposedly sells a data sorting algorithm to the FBI right after 9/11. Step 2, the whistleblower. The source claims this is the very system that Edward Snowden blew the whistle on. And finally, step 3, its final form. An evolved algorithm that doesn't just track data anymore, but is aimed at what the source calls our biological resonance, the actual essence of who we are. Okay, so you're probably asking, what on earth is a Genesis seed siphon? Well, according to the source, it's the ultimate evolution of that Maxwell algorithm. The claim is that this system goes way beyond just tracking your clicks and posts. It's supposedly designed to literally siphon away something much deeper: your unique ideas, your biological data, and the specific energy the source calls our negative resonance. In other words, the very things that make you, you. And all of this brings us to our conclusion, Part 5, The Labyrinth of Truth. After going through all these claims, from AI ghosts and coded Super Bowl ads to biological siphons, we're kind of left in this maze of competing stories, just trying to figure out which way is up. You know, maybe the most telling detail in this entire document is the title of an art installation that's apparently planned for 2026. It's called simply, "I Am Lying to You." That statement just perfectly captures the deep, deep uncertainty at the very heart of this whole labyrinth. And so, that leaves us with one last, really crucial question. In a world where official stories are always being challenged, where you can find hidden meanings almost anywhere, and where reality itself feels like it's up for grabs, who do you trust to tell you the truth?